Hello and welcome. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope that you do take the time to watch because I know you're eager to skip right past it and book your call and get straight to it so we can take a deep dive into your business and give you all the answers. But before you book that call, I want to ask that you watch this video all the way through because in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly why most service-based businesses struggle to turn leads into paying clients, actual paying clients, and how they might struggle to keep them coming back time and time again. Ultimately, increasing their LTV. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I want to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Ty Sanders, and for the past 7 years, I've been helping grow businesses and personal brands in the health and wellness industry. I started this journey as a top personal trainer where I built a thriving online and in-person business. And in that time, I realized something that no matter what, no matter how great our service is, if you don't have a system in place to turn leads into paying clients, you're literally leaving money on the table. And yes, I learned this the hard way. So that's why I transitioned into AI powered automation, because the reality is most service-based businesses think that they have a leads problem, but 9 times out of 10, that's actually not the case at all. So over the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening and how our Aesthetic IQ system is changing the game for med spas, cosmetic dentists, dermatology clinics, plastic surgeons, plenty of other service-based businesses just like you. All right, so getting straight into it, what is this hidden revenue leak that you're seeing on the screen right now? The past minute or so, you've probably been sitting there in your chair freaking out, wondering what could it be? Your mind went here, your mind went there. You have no idea what this hidden revenue leak could be. But over the next minute or so, I'm going to show you exactly what that hidden revenue leak is and how our AI-powered lead acquisition system is going to fix that for you. The harsh reality, though, is there are some client acquisition myths, and this is probably where your mind went when you saw that hidden revenue leak. These things probably have you stressed, but number one is we need more leads. So you spend more on marketing, but your actual bookings don't increase much at all. So you think maybe your ads just aren't working. So you're testing different ad strategies, tweaking copy and changing targeting, but the results, they kind of stay the same. And then you think maybe people are just price shopping. They reach out, leads reach out, they ask for pricing, then they disappear. Sometimes you thought, they're just shopping around looking for the right price. Maybe your front desk handles follow-ups. And yes, let's admit, they are great at handling calls. They take calls well. They handle in-office patients well. Their customer service might be great. Let's be honest, how much time do they actually have to chase down every single lead that comes into your pipeline? And so then you fall back on maybe it's social media. Social media, if we make more content, we get more engagement, we get more followers. And that's always a great thing. Yes, it is a great thing, but still no major increase in actual booked appointments. And so you have to wonder, what solutions do we have? And the typical solution was always to hire a marketing agency. So you run ads, everyone buys your promo because it's a great promo. This is your expectation, of course. They tell their friends and family, and then their friends and family buy your promo also. And it's just this cycle, right? That's what our expectation is. But are you sure about that? You sure about that? Because the result is usually more attention, and more attention is great, right? But the reality is it's just another wreck waiting to happen. Why? Why is it just another wreck waiting to happen? And why would I even say that? Well, 3 reasons really. Reason number one, you're relying too heavily on your front desk sometimes. But the reality is they are human and they have a million other in-office tasks to do, like client communication, scheduling, payments, billing, customer service, patient experience, admin, office management. You have marketing, lead nurturing. Speaking of lead nurturing, when they do nurture leads, they might send a quick response or a follow-up call or a response to a DM. But the reality is they don't have the bandwidth nor the time to consistently nurture leads. And so number two, you have no structured follow-up system. And most clinics don't. Most clinics respond once and they assume, if they're serious, they'll book. And that's how they see it. Studies show 80% of sales require at least 5 touch points before someone makes a decision. And that starts with their first experience with your practice. We assume all leads will book on their own. People get distracted, they get overwhelmed, they go with someone else who might have messaged them quicker. But simply put, people make decisions based on ease. So what exactly is this hidden revenue leak in your business? And I'm going to tell you exactly what that is right now. So I know you've been dying to know. And this is exactly why we're burning through cash. You don't have a leads problem. You have a follow-up problem. Very simply put. And it comes down to these 3 things that ultimately leads to the fourth: slow response time, inconsistent follow-up, and a very overwhelmed front desk, which ultimately leads to a high no-show rate and a lack of actual booked appointments. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So I listed a bunch of them here for you. Conversions drop by 80% if a lead isn't contacted within 5 minutes. Follow-up problem. 80% of sales happen after the 5th touch point. Follow-up problem. And reality is your receptionists are way too busy to handle in-office patients and phone calls and nurturing leads that are in your pipeline. Follow-up problem, ultimately leading to a high no-show rate where up to 30% of leads don't show up for their appointment because they weren't properly nurtured. And maybe they went to a competitor, maybe they didn't, maybe they just decided not to do the service. But whatever it is, it's always going to fall back on the follow-up. So I know what you're thinking. You just don't have enough time. And I agree. You don't have enough time. We just talked about that. You absolutely don't have enough time. But that's where the power of AI comes in. And these are just two of my favorite AI by Iman Mostake, a business executive and the founder of an AI company, actually. He says, we see the wave coming. Now, this time next year, and this was said last year, by the way, this time next year, every company has to implement it, not even have a strategy, implement it. And the second one by not even an AI entrepreneur, but just a serial entrepreneur and a futurist who understands the way that business moves. But he says there are two types of companies that will exist in 10 years. Companies who utilize AI and those who are bankrupt. And although it has like a funny-ish tone to it, that's a very real reality for a lot of people. So just like think about what that means for you. And so, of course, I put together numbers, specific numbers, industry-leading KPIs. Now, mind you, these performance indicators are based on aesthetics businesses, specifically who are utilizing AI automation. So any leads contacted within 60 seconds, conversion rates went up by 400%, no-shows went down by 40%, client retention went up by 33%, and in-office actual appointments, people that you see face-to-face, went up by 60 freaking percent. And this is not just some guy in a beanie telling you this online with this video on this random website, but instead these are actual sources: Lead Connect, Salesforce, Forbes, and the Harvard Business Review. Now let's be reminded that this is all without spending a single dollar extra on ads. This is just optimizing what you already have going on and then doubling down and increasing as time goes on. So I invite you to think about this. Now that you know you're not burning through money because your marketing sucks or because your social media sucks, but instead because your leads are literally getting thrown into the freezer, what if you had an AI-powered system that did all the follow-up for you? Like responding instantly, nurturing the leads, booking all your appointments, all of this on autopilot. Well, that's exactly what our Aesthetic IQ system does. And this is exactly how businesses are seeing 40 to 60% more face-to-face bookings without spending a single dollar extra on ads. I'm sure now you're wondering exactly how does this work? Well, this little beautiful graph that I put together shows exactly how our Aesthetic IQ system works. And we're closing this sales gap, taking you from your current situation to your desired situation, all with this process right here. And when we talk on a discovery call, we'll go through exactly how this is going to look inside of your business, custom tailored to exactly how your systems operate. But to give you a brief overview of what it looks like before we get on the call so you have an idea. First is the AI instant response. The secondly reaches out, AI engages them literally right away. This way they'll stay interested in your brand, it won't ghost you, and they definitely won't move on to a competitor. Next, AI powered follow-ups. Now that they're in your system, these automated strategic follow-ups ensure potential clients stay interested and move closer to booking via text, email, or even DM. Now that the leads are nice and warm and cozied up to your brand, next is a seamless appointment scheduling. And this basically eliminates the whole back and forth. So clients can book directly through the system, which is essentially in turn going to free up time for your staff. And I guess the cherry on top of all this is the fact that the system can take payment from the client, making sure that they don't end up being a no-show. And we even took it a step even further, and they'll get personalized AI reminders throughout the entire process to reduce no-shows, minimize cancellations, and maximize revenue. Reality is, you could do this yourself. I'd hate to sit here and pretend like it's absolutely impossible to eventually learn this and put it together and work through the systems. I'd hate to tell you this is just not true. You could absolutely do this yourself. It would be very slow, overwhelming, and difficult. You'd have to learn a whole new skill, maybe hire someone internally to dedicate all of their time to specifically that. But it typically produces minimal results, if any. And it's honestly just not optimal. Would likely just set you back. You could also have someone do it for you, which it would be done fast. You'd probably be making constant corrections, a lot of back and forth, a lot of figuring out what works, what doesn't. Let's talk about this. And it typically is extremely expensive, and the results are just not consistent. But then there's also a third option, and that's done with you. And it's fast and efficient. There's no worry, no headache, a lot of communication. Now the results typically are great. It's very affordable compared to the other two in terms of time and efficiency and money. So when we talk about done for you, the cost associated is generally way higher than do it yourself and done with you. You also have less control over customization. So it's not typically as custom as you want it to be because it's done for you and there's no decision making on your end. Maybe that's not the best option, especially since the results aren't so consistent. Then we have do it yourself. And I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about, go try new things, go do new things. But when it comes to taking away time from your practice and the thing that you're most passionate about and the thing that you've committed your life to at this point, to go learn a new skill, just not the most ideal situation. And then you have done with you, the option that most people would go with just because of all the benefits that come with it, like faster implementation, personalized strategy, and custom tailoring to your business specifically. You get hands-on guidance, support along the way to make sure things are running smoothly and operating well, real-time troubleshooting and adjustments. And those adjustments typically will give you a higher level of confidence in the system itself. So for that reason, done with you does take the crown. So by now, I'm sure you realize that the real problem is not a lack of leads, it's the follow-up. And without a system in place, you're literally losing potential clients every single day. And that's exactly why we built the Aesthetic IQ system to handle those follow-ups, nurture leads, book appointments, all of that for you, all on autopilot. So you can focus on running your business and doing what you do best, which is delivering exceptional service to your clients. So here's the catch. We're only onboarding 5 businesses this month to make sure that every single client gets the best possible results. So if you're seeing this, that means there's at least one spot still open and I want you to claim it. Right below this video is a calendar. I want you to find a time that works for you, book a quick demo, and I'll personally walk you through exactly how the system works. I'll answer all of your questions and we'll see if this system is a good fit for your business. But don't wait, because every day without a system in place is costing you more and more revenue. So click below, book that demo, and we'll talk soon. Peace.